Oi, this is the Profanity Gnome, and I'm here to tell you that if you're under 13 years old, fuck off this video! Get the fuck off YouTube! Get your mama to get your dad's cock out of her ears and actually be a parent! This is for adults only! And for everybody else, enjoy the video. And don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below what you think, you fuck buckets.
To stand out among the crowd,
even if I gotta shout out loud, till mine is the only face that you see. Gonna stand out
till you notice me.
Well, Lord Dickney, the reports of the 3 Disney characters came in.
Oh boy, I sure hope for a favorable response.
Well, the delegations went as well as to be expected. And, well, the gents once again declined the offer.
What? Who do those low-count, low-down, dirty, rotten, thinking no view, no subscriber channel think they are? Telling me no repeatedly! How dare they? How dare they? Oh, this makes me so mad! Fine! If they don't want to be a part of the Disney family, fine! I won't want them! What is their problem? I won't let this stand, never! I'll never let them win! I'm going to look up their YouTube channel and find any kind of weakness whatsoever! That'll show them! Hooray! Another superhero episode!
Wait, don't you actually have superpowers? Actually, I think we all do. Why do you need to dress up like that when you already have a superhero costume?
Because it's not about the superpowers with actual superhero costumes. It's about dressing up funny.
How am I the young one here? This is Who is Gizmoduck?
The episode begins as all Disney franchises begin, in a bank. Donald is looking to apply for a loan to help repair his house, because we gotta remember that's still a subplot in this series. And we also see the return of Fenton, who, as we all know, is Gizmoduck in disguise. But as they're signing for loans and opening up accounts, here come the Beagle Boys! And I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but of all the references that could be made, I think this one is probably the most subtle. A duck-shaped hockey mask, wielding as his primary weapon a hockey stick. I don't want to falsely rally anyone's hopes, but anybody getting a Mighty Ducks vibe from this? It's subtle, very subtle. Might even be coincidental, but this show has shown it's not very keen on coincidences. Well, as a coincidence, Fenton brought his Gizmoduck gear, and as the Beagle Boys were about to invade him, he says the magic word and transforms into Gizmoduck, and immediately loses control of the suit. But Huey's still impressed. So impressed that when Gizmoduck literally launches every rocket, every laser in that suit's arsenal, and chases the Beagle Boys out and flies away, Huey is awe-inspired by the fact that there's a mechanical-based superhero around. Even when the CNN tries to discredit him, Huey stands up for the great hero that is Gizmoduck. Oh, look at that! A news reporter trying to discredit superheroes. I wonder where we've seen that before. No matter what you'll do, you'll never be J. Jonah Jameson! Well, we cut to Fenton back home while he's trying to polish up the armor because he didn't intend on being a superhero that moment, when Mommy comes home. Not just any mommy, a hot Latina mommy. What? I see a MILF when I see one. That is definitely shipping material. Not with her son, mind you. That's gross. Don't do that. Yes, and she provides a lot of unneeded necessary pressure on Fenton to get with the program and get a job that actually pays. But unfortunately, all is not well, as Mark Beak still remembers Gizmoduck from before, and his dream of him turns into an obsession, as he's developing some sort of weird device that I'm sure will be important later on. But sadly, it's still Mark Beaks, so... Mark Beaks, you have failed this city! Well, we cut to Fenton in the Gizmoduck suit as he's testing out its properties with Gyro Gearloose, as he's trying to make the argument that the suit can be more than just a, well, prop, since the only thing that they've really done with the suit is just test basic systems. But Gearloose of course says no, we're on thin ice, we gotta play it safe by the book. So naturally, Fenton does the one thing with the suit that, well, makes sense. Steals it, and tries to test out all of its incredible powers all on his own, against his boss's orders. But when Huey shows up and tells Gearloose about the incident at the bank, oh, he's pissed. He is pissed and he is out for blood. So, thankfully, he put a tracker in the suit, so he can track the suit anywhere. But Fenton is already in the business of getting familiar with all of its subsystems. And unfortunately for him, Gearloose and Huey track him down all the way to the construction yard and start chewing him out. The added pressure causes Gizmoduck to short circuit and fire a missile, and now it's headed straight for something or other. Gizmoduck attempts to chase after it, trying to capture it, but sadly, it doesn't seem he can do anything to stop the missile. But I'm not sure if he wants to, because it's headed right in the pathway of a helicopter being piloted, coincidentally, by Mark Beaks. Just let it hit. Just let it hit. You know, we could just chalk it up to malfunction, you know. Just let him die.
If that translates to that, then that could be that. You know, you could just ask for me to tell you things, you know.
The Queen asked us to be an incognito.
Well, sadly, Gizmoduck does the hero thing and saves Mark Beaks, and Mark Beaks is probably got the biggest boner right now, and he takes him back to Waddle Tech. And here, Mark makes Gizmo an offer, the offer of a lifetime, to be employed at Waddle Tech and have it the backings of a billionaire to be his own private superhero. This is a pretty big offer, an offer that Gizmo actually considers, especially since he has just been fired by Gearloose, telling him that this is his property, he's not a superhero, and he's not even an intern anymore. But when he hears that Gearloose is trying to destroy the suit, Fenton couldn't let that happen, and so he does the only logical thing possible. Steals the suit, and tells Mark Beaks he's in. Yeah, that's sad truth. Being a superhero is awesome, but it doesn't exactly put bread on the table. Yeah, not every superhero can be genius billionaire playboy philanthropists. Well, upon hearing that Gizmoduck is in, he immediately rebrands Gizmo as Waddle Duck. And everything seems to be up in arms with poor Waddle Duck. His mother is super proud of him, and now he's ready to save the day. Or so he thought. Yeah, as it turns out, Waddle Duck can only save people if they have an app that they have to pay for and have an account with at Waddle Tech. So this was Mark's plan all along. Make Gizmoduck his own personal slave, helping out users throughout the city if they pay him. In other words, he's not a hero, he's just the bitch boy. He is not happy.
Kinda makes you wish you could go back in time and fix your mistakes now, doesn't it? See, now you're getting it.
Well, Waddle Duck might actually be named Bitch Boy because that's what he's being, a bitch boy. being forced to do every small thing that isn't worthy of being called superhero tax and more slave labor. And he is definitely feeling it. And no one is more disappointed in him than Huey, who both metaphorically and literally makes him throw away his faith in him. Pretty on the nose there. But in the end, he's got to pay the bills too, right? Well, push comes to shove for little bitch boy, as a family is being mugged right in front of him, but when he tries to help, the chute sorts out and forces him to submit to the app. And wow, that is a lot of gold coming out of that kid. I'm not even joking. It's just materializing. Where is all this gold coming from? Well, upon realizing that he can't save the kid, or anyone as long as he's got this inhibitor, he makes an immediate appointment with Mark Beeks, telling him he can't save somebody if he constantly is restricted. And when Mark brushes him off, well, he quits, telling him, I'm gonna go back to being Gizmoduck. Fuck this Waddle Duck. And this makes Mark Beeks put on his villain filters. Apparently, when he signed over his rights as a hero, he also signed over the rights to the suit. And as long as the tech is built into the Gizmoduck armor, Mark Beeks is the one who calls the shots. He doesn't need anyone. In fact, he doesn't even need Fenton. So, he uses the program built into the suit to take the suit away from Fenton. And in a magical girl transformation sequence, Mark Beeks becomes Gizmoduck.
Don't worry, we're here to stop him! Right, guys? Shouldn't there be a fifth one?
Well, yes, but Satan couldn't be here. Well, upon stealing the Gizmoduck armor, Mark Beeks immediately Iron Mans himself for any and all clout he can get by trying to reveal the secret identity to the world. But if anybody has half the brains of Huey, they'll realize he's a fraud. But, of course, that's the least of their concerns, because while Fenton had barely any control over the suit, Mark Beeks has no control over the suit, which of course starts to run amok. He even destroys his own cell phone, which causes the tech that was put on by him to fall off as well. But it doesn't matter, because Mark Beeks launches a missile, and Fenton jumps into action, says his famous catchphrase, blathering blatherskite, and he gets the Gizmoduck armor once again! Unfortunately, because the system and how it's built, it's overloaded and was about to explode. And there was no way to stop it. You can't run the suit without this particular system because of its complexities. But thanks to Huey's ingenuity, he was able to reprogram the suit so it doesn't need this particular component, as he's now able to control everything with his mind. So thus, he's now officially the true and heartfelt Gizmoduck that we've all come to know. Oh, right, there's a bomb. He decides that if Mark Beeks is gonna Iron Man himself, then he's gonna Dark Knight Rises himself, takes the bomb out into the middle of the ocean, and it explodes. But at least we actually see him surviving the explosion, unlike the Dark Knight Rises. I mean, seriously, explain how he outran a nuke anyway. Fenton wakes up in the hospital where his hot Latina mother is there to comfort him. But she's not the only visitor, as Scrooge McMoneybags has shown up. And after pulling the ultimate card of getting Fenton in trouble with the new boss, Scrooge offers Fenton a job. He's impressed. And since Scrooge isn't always going to be there to protect Duckburg, he offers Fenton a job as a superhero, forcing Gyro Gearloose to give him a new set of armor for Gizmoduck. Fenton, of course, immediately takes him up on this offer, and now he can save the day once more as Gizmoduck. And that was Who is Gizmoduck? How is it? Well, as much as I hate Mark Beeks, I do have to admit he did have his moments in this episode. And it's nice to see a bit of more backstory on the Fenton, rather than just him being Gizmoduck's altered ego. There's actually a person in the suit, rather than just him being the suit. But we all know the real star of the show is actually Gizmoduck. Yeah, every superhero needs an origin, and I didn't really feel satisfied with the origin of just him being tacked on at the end of driving lessons a while back. It's nice to have an episode completely dedicated to Gizmoduck and his rise to being a superhero. And even though we didn't get any Darkwing Duck references, Gizmoduck / Fenton is strong enough of a character to hold his own. Though admittedly sometimes it is difficult to separate Fenton from the armor, both figuratively and literally. It's also nice to see Huey getting some limelight, because I feel like out of all the Duck siblings, he's the one that seems to get left out the most. Has anybody else noticed that? I mean, Dewey is the fun, adventurous one, Louie is the con artist, but Huey has always been seen as the smart, good boy. And sadly, there's not a lot of stories you can do with just that. I kind of hope for more stories where he's a main focus in the future. But regardless, this was a Gizmoduck episode, not a Huey episode. And even though he had a strong part to play, even if it was kind of a MacGuffin at the end, seriously, how did he reprogram Gyro's armor so effortlessly? Like, did he study blueprints? Did he have a hand in making it? Like, how was it so easy for him? What is written in that woodchuck guidebook? But regardless, it's definitely a good origin story superhero episode. I kind of want to see a spin-off with Gizmoduck and Fenton now, though. But I guess that'll have to be for a later date. And with that being said, we're the Cartoon Gentlemen, the organizers of chaos, and we'll see you next time. With all your hot Latina mothers! Yes. It looks like they're searching for something. Something in the Ducktales fandom.
Gosh, yeah, that seems to be the arc they're going with this season.
Well, if they're searching for something, all we have to do is find it first. If they want it so badly, I'll acquire it. And if they want it, they'll have to sign the contract with me! Ha ha! Blackmail! Bribery! That's the Disney motto! And the best part is, we already have a man on the inside! Ha ha! To stand out among the crowd,
Even if I gotta shout out loud, till mine is the only face that you see on a stand out.
till you notice me.